4-leaf clover. Make a wish.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
No ego on that side of Hollywood, is there?
Because maybe they're just as good and we're wasting time.
Why can't you just admit it's over?
Some people are in it just for the art.
It's too complicated. It's like algebra. Why you gotta put numbers and letters together? Why can't you just go fuck yourself?
Hey now.
Welcome to Scrub Hop Talk, offering opinions and an onslaught of off thoughts. The blah blah's top notch. Sit for a minute with BDC and the chicken, mixing a split for a Scotch Rocks.
My boys and I have been described, opinionated 100 times, and not afraid to dive into our minds, talking deep inside. Talk about the lives we live, bro. You know that the dude abides. Best part of my week is with the crew, chop it about the grind.
Where you go to get a chicken squat? Where you go to see the chicken cock? I'm talking about Scrub Hop talking. I might tell you why the chicken crossed the road. Your mother.
Some bitches may have stole the name, but the show is still the same. We here to let you know we still hella fucked up in the brain. Our views on the world got more screwed up with age, but the show's about to start. We're only here to set the stage.
Not everyone's gonna enjoy this show. Settle in.
Hopefully they do enjoy the show. What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Scrub Hop Talk. We are finally fucking here. We're live. It's been forever speculated, but we're here. JDirty. Wait.
Big Trox.
There you go.
Oh. Hey, Big Trox in the house.
Troxy Cotton. Boom, 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 boom.
Hell yeah, man. I'm geeked as fuck to be back. It was a long time ago. Some of you don't know, some of you don't care, but we used to do this shit. We had an organization, damn it.
Yeah. Socially awkward radio show, I think is what that was called back in the day.
Back then, when Troxy Cotton was still in high school and was not even able to go out past curfew, I believe. We were on the radio. We took a hiatus and we're finally fucking back, man, and I'm geeked as hell.
Yeah, really exciting. I couldn't be more excited. Like you said, it's been probably 7 years since we've been on the air. Obviously, we did our little recap of the album a couple weeks ago when the BDC album came out. We'll talk a little bit about that during the show today. But
hell yeah,
this was like our inaugural radio show back, and I'm going to keep calling it a radio show, despite the fact that Troxy Cotton seems to think that we can't call it a radio show. So you know what? That's what I'm going to do.
It was a radio show back then.
But it still wasn't.
I mean, in all fairness, yeah, I don't think one radio actually broadcast it unless it was like Bluetooth into their laptop or something.
I mean, very well could have, but yeah, that was NFN radio. That was back in the day, man. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times with our boy Ian the Bee. We had our Chicken McFatballs, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us today, but that was a real great time, man. Back in the day, we would have interviews every week. We would do, fun things with our audience and kind of get people engaged in what we were doing. And
they call Troxel's cell phone number and get put on speakerphone to be a call-in, which might not happen this time.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, to be totally honest. So
I would just get multiple cell phones to call. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They can all call Troxy Cotton, and he'll be fine.
I'll put his number up on the banner below, and then you guys can call in and get on the
and let him know. Yeah, we'll figure out. We're not gonna have any call-ins tonight as far as that goes. We'll get our shit figured out. But we are gonna be talking to Scottie D, FagoLovers.net. Everybody knows the man. He's got to have more stories to tell than we could even imagine. So that's going to be stupid fresh. We're very excited to have him on and just pick his brain a little bit on our past and what's next and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, it's going to be really good, man. I'm excited for, for kind of set the stage on this thing for you guys to let us know what you want to see, what you're into, what are your interests, how'd you become such a Giants chick, that kind of thing.
Have you ever fucking heard of us before, or did somehow you stumble across this? Are you the guy that sends us emails about how much you hate us? Like, we want to hear from you.
Yeah, you got to tell us, hey, I definitely hate you guys. And then we'll be like, all right, thank you. We really
I read all of those messages personally while I'm on the toilet every day.
So,
right? talking shit. No, it's been a big, a long time out, but a real good big year, and especially like last month for the three of us, we've dropped that new record that's doing phenomenal. We got the Scrub Hop Talk, our little radio show is back and in effect, and we got more music coming. We got just a lot of fucking dope ass shit. Oh, see that right there? All three inputs, which is the greatest title ever.
Available. No. Hey, why don't you tell them a little bit about, I don't even think we really got too much into this on our when we broke down the show or broke down the record on our show a couple weeks ago. What inspired the name and the album cover? Why don't you talk to us about that, JDirty?
I'm laughing because I'm like, do we go for the answer I keep telling all my family it's about, or do we go for the realness? My daughter today goes, what does all three inputs mean? I was like, when you talk too much and I say keep your input to yourself, that's your input. You're getting the three inputs of ours. She's like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, let's go with that.
That's right.
And it worked good. It worked good for her and her brain. And maybe past that, it's up to the listener's perception.
For real.
You could speculate and let us know what you think, and Scotty will probably honestly get the joke or would if he was looking even more than we would, or not more than we would, that's retarded, but more than the average person, you know what I mean? Because it's definitely a hidden message within our sub brain.
Yeah, it's definitely a Stern reference, but
Stern reference.
Most of the things that we do are Stern references.
I think this show might be, and big ups to him. But the cover, man, I love that because it's West Side Connection. Looks like terrorist threats, man. Anybody who has seen or knows that record, which is fucking every Rat fan from that era.
There you go. There's that.
I thought you were putting up the West Side Connection one.
I very well could, but there's the album cover for you guys. Check that out.
Kind of an homage, the artwork to those fellas and that particular record. Almost as equally as offensive title. All three inputs, terrorist threats. I mean, kind of works. But yeah, it's so props to that, and that's where that came from. But that's all over digital outlets. Definitely not just here to talk about our new record and to plug our shit. But also, I'm not against talking about our new record and plugging our shit because it's popping off a lot. And we're really excited.
Yeah, man, it's been real good. It's if you haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, like Jay said, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere that you can listen to music.
I believe it's on Deezer.
Deezer, yeah. If you're in France, hop on Deezer. You know what I'm saying? It's all over there. You get all Deezered up, and it's so cool seeing that. Like we can
the map breakdown.
Yeah, I was texting these guys 2 days ago, and I'm like, "Holy crap, guys! We're up to almost 4-digit plays in Romania." And to me,
I bragged about everybody. I told everybody that day at work when you sent me that. I was like, "Fucking hey, I don't even know how to spell Romania, but they like our shit, so that's cool."
Yeah, man, it's so cool that I love the internet. We should just call it.
Anybody else out there agree?
I mean,
Trox with the bold statement.
Thinks the internet's cool, guys.
Trox building headlines in first episode.
The internet's neat.
Yeah, internet's neat.
Never tried water. It is amazing substance.
I got some water right here. It's delicious.
Wow.
They made this with water.
I'm saying, but no, it's so cool that we can put out this piece of music that we created together over the internet because we don't all live in the same place. So we're getting beats from one side of the country. We're making the record all independently, and then we're sending it to a mixer on the other side of the country. And it's so cool to me that we could put that up, and now we got 1,000 plays in Romania. And we got,
shit, man.
We're the second biggest country on the Spotify analytics is Amsterdam. And when I saw it, I was like, dude, that's so cool that people in Amsterdam have heard our tracks. Like,
I'm just glad anybody's listening, even if you live in fucking Illinois. I'm just happy. Like, people seem to dig it, man. I see somebody wrote best album of 2020 in the comments. I don't know who you are, but I agree completely.
I love you. Yeah,
that's fucking dope. Thank you, homie.
I say especially if you live in Illinois.
For real.
You know what I mean?
Those Peoria cats fuck with BDC something awful.
I bet.
Yo, BDC is coming to Peoria 2021, rocking the show.
Shit, man, we're doing a tour.
I don't want to die.
Touring Romania first. That's all I'm saying. We're gonna.
I'd probably go to Romania before I'd go anywhere, like to a venue in the United States right now.
For real. Yeah, I think they're gonna be like, "Sorry, you're from America? You gotta go."
Yeah, right.
You
can come over, but you can't go back.
Yeah, for real.
They've said no.
Yeah,
I've been trying to move to Romania for a minute, so that makes sense.
And how's that been going?
It's going pretty well. I mean, I got some people looking at some real estate. Dimitri, he's been checking some shit out for me, and that's pretty chill.
That's
it's
good.
Dimitri. You're not saying it correctly.
Dimitri.
Like an old lady, like in an old school movie. The one with like the wart and the hair growing out.
Oh, yeah.
I love BDC.
I bet. And that, my friends, is our target market. So
fucking A. But so yeah, point being, it's been super fresh. It's good to be fucking working together again, man. Like we couple new young Wicked sent us some new beats. The guy in the bottom there has just been murdering the shit. So that means me and the other guy over here have to like put more of an effort for it to sound dope, but that's cool.
It's gonna get going though.
Like last night I proposed kicking you out of the group. I'm like, man, this is supposed to be fun. I'm working too hard with this motherfucker. Pissing me off.
You're gonna put that work in. We're gonna put out the top single 2021. You know what I'm saying?
New singles coming soon. We already got two in the cooker. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah.
The album.
Go ahead. I was gonna say we were talking that that's our approach this round. We're gonna maybe instead of the next record, it's gonna be a series of singles spread out to keep that big dirty cotton on your brain, baby. And then some Brothers tracks, and then some JDirty tracks, and then maybe some Turf tracks. Just not a record, just a bunch of tracks to fill your brain.
Well, and you know, little spoiler alert here for about 2 episodes from now, we're probably going to be debuting a brand new Brothers album, full-length album, by the way.
We're not going to debut the whole thing, but we'll tell you all about it.
We're going to tell you all about that.
We're going to tell you about the debut.
Yeah.
It might not debut, but we'll explain what that word means and why there's silent letters.
I think it's French.
Yeah, new Brothers album, man. It is amazing, and we are going to try and get it on as many streaming platforms as possible. Unfortunately, you know, because of the style of music that Brothers tends to make, it's a little bit mixtape styly. So, you know, might be featuring some stolen beats. I'm just saying. So
1 or 2 of the beats might not be stolen.
1 or 2 may be
0.
Okay, and so hope you guys think that that's coming way sooner than you think.
Yeah, like you said, a couple weeks.
And that boy has JDirty peppered all over it. You know, the kids Trox on that. We're all up on that. So
yeah, that shit's dope. I listened to most of it last night. I was telling Andrew, or excuse me, Troxy Cotton. I'll use your moniker. You get murked by Andrew, Matt, and Justin. But yeah, it's that shit was dope. I was very proud of you two, and kind of pissed at the same time.
Yeah, well, that means we did our job. If you listen to it and you're like, God damn it, this is too good, then I'm like, yes. If you listen to it and you're like, it was fine, then you know I'd feel way differently about it. But the fact that it pissed you off, that really
I would do that like the Stern thing, where I'd just be like, I haven't heard it yet. I'm not there quite yet.
I didn't get a chance.
When in fact I just fucking hated it.
Yeah, I'll listen to it when I get an opportunity. Let's see.
Right.
So I want to go ahead and kick things off real quick here on our intro episode, playing a little clip for you boys. Something I think that you might have an interesting take on. So check this out.
Okay. I live in immigrant housing with a bunch of other undocumented people because I don't have an ID or a social security card or any credit because I'm trying to live off the grid because that's how committed I am to not being human.
So
I so wish I've never seen that before.
There's a lot to unpack there, and you know, obviously, that person, I don't want to gender them because I don't know what's going on.
I don't want to species her.
Yeah, I mean, well, she just said she's not trying to be a human. So I mean, let's be honest here.
Clearly smoking like a Swisher Sweet blunt, fucking wearing animal ears that were bought at a store. Like that. Who are you? What are you?
Yeah, there was some rock sprinkled in that Swisher. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just green in there. It was some rock as well.
I think what I'm trying to know is what was her childhood like?
Probably super chill. I bet she probably played a lot of violin. She probably like was organized sports and was
Maybe
like doing
that's what her hallucinogen dreams were feeling like.
Wouldn't that be you do drugs and just picture a beautiful childhood that you didn't have?
Yeah,
is that why people are doing it?
You take drugs to have an escape from reality. I mean, she ain't doing that at 22 because everything went well.
No,
her dad missed all of her appointments. Like fucking for sure.
Not a recital attended. Am I right?
He didn't make a single game.
He didn't come to the first one, and she dropped out of all organized entertainment and sports and fucking everything.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah. I think that's really probably an accurate take. Slayer 420 said in the chat, drugs are bad, okay?
Yeah, no fucking shit, man. And that outfit came from the ARC, like, or do you say the ARG? I don't know, but it came from that thrift store or one of those, and I guarantee she stole it. Like, she didn't even pay the $2.99 on Yellow Tag Tuesday.
She stole it during her community service. Like she was working the belt, and then she just grabbed that one off the belt and put it in her bag.
I bet you in her hooking days, she probably called that community service.
For real.
Which it really is, if we're going to break it all the way down.
She's doing everybody a favor. I mean,
right.
I am a big fan of that.
I've been known to turn down a favor or two in my day.
If she's watching, I want to say I think she seems super chill and super
Her
nice.
eyes aren't even open, guaranteed, no matter where she is. She's not watching.
You don't think so?
If this is on the screen, she's not seeing it.
She looked like that, Jesse's girlfriend on Breaking Bad afterwards.
I live in immigrant housing with a bunch of other undocumented people because I don't have an ID or a social security card or any credit because I'm trying to live off the grid because that's how committed I am to not being human.
I just had to go back one more time because the final cut of the camera just zooming in on her.
The deadpan of a dead face.
Oh my God, it's so good because you just see her like her face just goes.
And that wasn't because she was playing a character. That she forgot she was being talked to.
She is legitimately committed to not being a human, and for that, I'm here for it. I love her.
And I just want to say, initially, I thought I saw a blunt. That ended up, I think that was just a piece of metal that she was chewing on.
Yeah, it might have also been like one of those wood whistles. You know, it kind of looked like something like that. Like she might bust.
Is that how she summoned Tony the Tiger to walk behind her?
Yeah, for real. That could very well be the case.
Oh my God!
I want to kick us off with that today. Just give the viewing audience a little taste of the twisted minds that are going to bring you this show week in and week out, and the kind of things that we're into. And obviously,
we like to discuss.
Yeah, we're here for it.
We'll watch a couple more after we talk to Mr. Fago Lovers.
Yeah, Mr. Fago Lovers. That's good.
Yeah, I figure, change the name up, be professional. We're older now.
So on that topic, why don't we go ahead? We're going to kick to a new track off the record. We're going to play you guys the title track, if you will, sort of. Right? Would you call this a title track?
Yeah.
We didn't really make a song called All Three Inputs, I guess. So
that's true.
I'm calling it the title track.
That track would have been shitty.
I'm going to go ahead and put this up right now. We're all going to leave the studio for approximately 4 minutes, and we'll be right back with Mr. Scottie D.
Yeah.
Word. Well, in keeping with the tradition of having technical issues on the very first episode, nothing played there apparently. So
oh shit. I was sitting here just thinking like maybe my shit quit working.
No. So you know what? We'll figure out by next week how to play you guys the record. In the meantime, it's available on YouTube, Spotify, all those things. So
all those aforementioned locations.
Please welcome our friend Scottie D to the air. Scottie D, welcome to Scrub Hop Talk. Good to have you.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. Do you like that new track?
Because it was, I was like, maybe it didn't broadcast to the people who were on the green room. I don't know, but
that's what I thought. I'm texting him like, am I just out of the game? I like the song.
Right.
Well, meanwhile, it was playing great on my end. So I'm like, I'm just out of my head. I'm like, yeah, that's good. It turns out when you're the one
mine is
screen, yeah, when you're the one sharing the screen, it works. So we'll definitely have to figure that out for next week. But how you doing, Scottie? Welcome to Scrub Hop Talk, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Fuck yeah, man.
Welcome.
So
I've already heard like 3 or 4 Stern references, so this has got to be my favorite new show for sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. So have you been watching this whole time already?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the all 3 inputs, that's definitely a Stern reference. If I was like, if anyone's gonna get it, he'll know.
And then I heard the what are you into? What are your interests?
Yeah. I didn't even hear him say that.
Yeah.
We say that so much it went right over my head, man.
I say that in most of our group chats when we're talking about a track that we're going to write. I'm like, so what are you guys into? What are your interests? How do you become such a Giants chick? You know?
Quick 2 seconds. Anyway, yeah, man. We were talking about who to have on, who has got that interesting story, and you fucking popped up in the brain piece right away, man. You've been around fucking forever, and everybody probably watching knows, but if they don't, you want a minimal background of who you are and what you do.
Well, so I've owned and operated FagoLovers.net for the past 20 plus years. It's talk about affording me some really, super unique opportunities.
I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, basically, FagoLover started in 1999. Wasn't actually started by me, believe it or not. I know that's a common misconception, but it was started by a kid who called himself Fago Lover, who I'm still friends with to this day. He started it out of a suburb of Detroit, and then asked me to come on and write for it back in 2001. And he fell. He didn't fall out of the Juggalo scene, but he just lost interest in maintaining the site, and I took it over, and it's I've owned and operated ever since.
I assume it started growing pretty fast, and he just maybe it was more than he was anticipating taking on at the time or wanting to work on.
I mean, I know you've been around forever, and back in 20 years ago, web hosting was fucking expensive.
Right.
So I mean, it was costing me back when I was making $7 an hour at a warehouse job. It was costing me $150 a month. Just for the bandwidth, because like I said, it was having a dedicated server back then was crazy expensive.
Absolutely.
So anyway, it was one of those things where all right, guys, everybody wants to be involved. You got to pitch in because I can't do this by myself. So
yeah, we can't all be on here. Me fucking putting the whole bill.
Right. So I mean that made a couple of people fall off, but I mean we've stayed. Obviously it's super cheap to host something these days.
Like
but,
finally.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway,
so that's funny you said that a couple people fell off. I was doing some digging into, the internet's a magical place because you can go find pages that were posted 20 years ago.
He loves the internet.
I love the internet.
I heard.
Second or third time so far this episode, I get to share that knowledge.
Super neat.
Oh my God.
The internet's really neat. So I went back and looked and saw some old posts that you put up probably 19 years ago talking about the original 6. And I'm just wondering, like, when you said that about the original 6
website,
do you remember?
Right?
That's the way that I took that. What did you mean by that? Who are they, and are any of them still around?
The original 6 was I mean,
I think
didn't see
like
the
there was like
post,
6 Juggalo websites that were like the top
Yeah.
sites back then, right?
Oh, are you talking about the Seeds of the Lotus? Those guys? Do you remember?
I think that's what you were talking about. Yeah, because you were saying, you know, that that you were started this back when there was only like 6 big sites, and
okay,
you coined them as the original 6. So I was wondering what those are.
I remember. Okay, so there was the 6.com, Riders.com, Malenko 500, Real Juggalos, Halls of Illusions maybe was one of them.
Probably.
And
I
then,
forgot all about Malenko 500.
Yeah, and then I mean, there were 100. I mean, you heard the .com song on the end of the original Dark Lotus, so
right.
you know how many were, you know, there used to be, but the whole. Do you guys recall the Siege of the Lotus when that all happened in the early 2000s?
No.
Okay.
It was some like web thing, but yeah, refresh because I don't remember.
All right, so they Psychopathic asked for the top 5 or 6 Juggalo websites who were I think mostly the ones that I just named to come to Detroit. It was going to be this big marketing thing that Psychopathic fronted. So they had all of the webmasters from those websites come to Detroit, go to Psychopathic HQ, and basically gave them a bunch of merch and had this whole plan. And it could have been for the 6th. It could have been for the Wraith. I'm not sure exactly.
In that zone though.
But unfortunately, so Fagel Lovers was still pretty new back then. And I wasn't. I was one of the honorable mentions, so I didn't actually get to take a part in that. And then, from what I understand, because I wasn't a part of it, nobody really held up their end of the deal as far as the webmasters were concerned. They basically took their merch and ran. So
sounds about like a Juggalo thing to do,
right? So that kind of all fell apart. It was, you know, they had grand aspirations, as you know, a lot of Psychopathic projects are, but it never really took off. So, you know, after that, I think that people at Psychopathic, it took a long time for them to regain trust with any Juggalo website. And fortunately for me, you know, I've been so consistent and with posting and with just having their backs and having, you know, all of the underground's back that I finally gained their trust, you know, 10 years later, I guess. So
fuck it. That's what I was actually going to ask you. Was the first, you said honorable mention, like the first time they actually hit you up in a, hey, we get it. We've seeded through this bullshit. We've seen who's good, who's bad. And you pretty much, I don't hear about anybody from another site. I haven't for years that gets hit up like that. So what was that first time they actually like, Scotty, we want you, or not necessarily want you, but like approached you in like a professional, like, hey, we realize what you're doing for us. Let's change our relationship, or how did that kind of work in the beginning?
Well, I think one of the first times that happened was the Gathering, 2002. Our website, along with, you know, the Real Juggalos and I think Canadian Juggalos, UK Juggalos, we were asked to have a booth at the in Peoria at the Gathering, which I mean,
and that was main little crowded ass booth hall in the beginning. Hell yeah!
Right, exactly. So. I was on the Bizarre Street team back in 2000, so I'd already had kind of a relationship with Jumpsteady.
Yeah.
But in fact, when I don't know how, I mean, I can go on for stories for days, but when we
won't ask for all of them, but I like this one.
So Bizarre, you know, we were promoting for Bizarre and Freak Show. They came down in their Bizarre wrapped vans to do promo at all of the local record stores, and it was me and 2 of my friends. Basically, they said, "Hey, if you want to help us out, meet us at this location. We'll give you a bunch of flyers, show you how to you know, basically post them in the record store." Yeah, exactly. So we did that. Rob, the Jumpsteady, gave us a list of 5 or 6 record stores to hit up, and so we did all that. Took pictures on our little disposable cameras. And then we actually did 4 or 5 additional ones. And so when we got back, we handed him a list of addresses that we hit up, of record stores that we hit up, along with the disposable camera pictures. And he's like, "Man, you guys fucking schooled it." And I don't know who he called it Psychopathic, but he's like, he was basically going to offer me a job. for Psychopathic, which obviously already being a juggalo for 5 years was a dream of mine. But I was like, look, man, I've got a family here. I'm in college right now. I said I can't thank you enough for that opportunity, but I'm gonna have to pass. So
no shit, huh?
Yeah. So I mean, who knows if it would have just been for the street team,
what capacity they were meeting.
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't even want to plant that seed in my head, because who knows what would have happened at that point.
No shit, man. Well, we probably would have forgot about you, like we've done, like so many of Rise Up, and we all know them as juggalos. We see them at shows. What's up, Psycho Patrick? And
right.
Then all of a sudden they're just like fucking gone. You know what I mean? Right. So maybe you did the right thing.
I haven't thought about that name in 15 years.
Jesus,
I haven't either until this story. It kind of like made me think in that realm, you know?
Yeah.
I have a Psycho Patrick story too, if you want to hear it.
I mean, fucking A, man.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of shit for you, but I knew we'd
I'll let you guys steer. It's your show. So.
Well, hey, let me, speaking of 20 years ago, I found something else when I was digging through website, and I heard that you're a big Stained fan.
Oh my god!
So
well, there were others on the list, if I recall.
Oh, absolutely. So hey, I'm Scottie D, and I'm a Dallas Juggalo. I'm 19 years old, and I work on a nationally distributed catalog. Yeah, real fucking boring.
Is this from MySpace?
This is from
before that.
I found this was like from 98, I think. Would you have been when would you have been 19? Maybe 99?
Yeah, 90. It would have been 99, 98, 99. Yeah.
So I think it was like a GeoCities site, and I found an old bio that you had written for yourself.
Oh my god! This is gonna be fucking embarrassing.
It sounded like a personal ad.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've got some great friends too. Hey, Trox, JC, and any down-ass juggalos. Besides listening to ICP and Twisted, I like other bands like Rage Against the Machine, Godsmack, Stain, Slipknot, House of Crazies, and other good bands.
There you go.
I like to play PlayStation, drive, watch movies, and just hang out.
I mean, that's straight up like exactly.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my god,
Giants chick.
Oh, that's.
I just wish you'd be like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
All right, so let's get one thing straight. Stain's Dysfunction album was fucking awesome. After that, they can go fuck themselves.
I can't even hate on you because I don't know if I've ever even heard Dysfunction or any of the other ones, but I know these two fellers have.
You definitely have, Jake.
Yeah.
Like the one song that was popular?
No, it's not. Absolutely. It's been a while. Trust me.
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, man. So as I was doing my digging, I saw that and I started laughing so hard. And I was like, I got to take a screenshot of that. We got to talk about that.
That is so funny, man.
A bio you wrote probably half of your life ago, and just like
it has been. Yeah, I'll be 40 in November, so.
Yeah, so
in fairness, he was showing me that last night, and we were like, I was clowning, laughing my ass off with it. But if you go back to some shit I posted in 1999, it's just as fucking bad, if not more, like cringeworthy. So that's just the era that we were in. Like people can I had a stash page. Like who I did too.
That?
Yep. Like, but I maintained that motherfucker like with all my fucking heart and soul.
And remember Angel Fire? Yeah, an Angel Fire page and GeoCities, all that shit, man.
All that roughness.
Yeah.
The shit that made MySpace seem like revolutionary.
I actually went rogue and did a freeservers.com website instead of a GeoCities or an Angel Fire. So
always an outlier there, Scotty. Can't just run with the crew, huh?
Yeah, right. So that's actually where the founders of Fagel Lovers saw, that I was posting daily like Juggalo related updates. They're like, you know what? We've got all this fresh content, but we can't keep up with the daily grind of the news. So they asked me to come on and write for them. So
nice.
On that topic, it's nothing I have written down, but the Dark Lotus days, like that was the height of everybody was making noise in one direction or another. And you stayed on point, man. You had a big team at one point. I'm sure it's not as big now,
right?
But what was is that just pressure-y as fuck to try to keep up with that? Or is it just all you loved hearing about it as much as I liked reading? So it was just fun, or was it work? Was it what was that all about when it was 10 posts a day?
Yeah. I mean, so, back when we were doing all HTML related posts and it was just, we were covering more artists. We started covering, you know, all of Sub Noise and all of Strange and, you know, all of that stuff. And so we started, they weren't like WordPress posts where we would just, you know, post one article and done. I would combine everything in a notepad, like a digital notepad, and then code everything up and then just do one giant post for the day.
I remember that. Yeah.
Covering all of the topics. So that got pretty tedious, especially when I was working 40 hours a week, plus going to school full time, and had, you know, sometimes it was just me solo for a while. So
damn.
But I mean, this Failovers has always been a passion project. It's never been about making money, which trust me, I don't. It usually still costs me money to run it, but luckily it's, like I said, not as much as it used to be.
Calm down, hell yeah.
Right, but no, I mean, it still is a big chunk of my time, but I still really enjoy it because I'm, you know, obviously still a huge part of the Juggalo scene. So.
Oh yeah, man.
So in that vein, are there any? You've been obviously in the Juggalo scene since what? Riddlebox or Malenko came out?
Yeah,
Riddlebox. So you've been covering almost every single event for the last 20 plus years. Are there any events that you've missed that are just like stick to you that like, shit, man, I really wish I could have been there for that?
So I didn't start traveling out of state for events until probably, I want to say like Hallowicked 2013 maybe.
Aside from gatherings.
You know, gatherings, of course. Yeah, I've been to all 20 gatherings.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then
missed you this year. What the fuck?
Well, I mean, I've still technically been to all gatherings.
Yeah, no shit, man. Beats our record.
That was a man. I'm so bummed out about that. We were listening to Spotify earlier, and you know, Bang Pow Boom came on. You know, the Fago Armageddon song.
What it would have been ending the night where the whole
maybe.
Day was,
yeah, who knows?
Probably.
So, but anyway, I missed the first few Juggalo days. Because I mean, we didn't really know that was going to become like more of a national event, you know, where people were traveling for it. And then, you know, obviously all of the Hallowickids up to 20. I think I went to 2004 Hallowicked because we actually won a website contest where we won 20 tickets. So we traveled from Dallas to Detroit for that. But then the next one I hit wasn't until 2013, and I think I've been to every one ever since then.
You know what? Wow. That's weird. You just said that website thing. Was that back when was Brooks involved in that era?
Yeah.
Because I came with him to that one because he had free tickets through you. I just started thinking about that. So hey, thank you for the free ticket, man.
You're welcome.
I was like, wait a second, that's all making weird sense all of a sudden.
Yeah, that was the Hell's Pit era. They had a promo contest for websites to promote Hell's Pit coming out, and we won that contest. So.
That's fucking crazy, man. That was the Southern Comfort era, so a lot of it's pretty blurry and non-existent. But you know, some memories exist. And
the Southern Comfort era.
I used to go hard with that shit. Yeah, I was like that. I remember that. That's fucking crazy, man.
I haven't drank Southern Comfort since I was old enough to drink.
We were talking about 20 years ago, or I don't know, 15 years ago, man. Give me a break. I moved into Bud Lights and Blue Moons now.
But so other than that, you've been to pretty much everything since then, right? I mean, I've seen you at. I've been to 15 gatherings, and I've seen you at every single one that I've been at. So
right,
yeah. Psychopathic and M&E now, you know, they're putting on so many national events that I mean, usually until COVID hit, you know, it was pretty much 6 or 8 events. It seems like a year.
Right.
So we had Astronomicon, you have the Gathering, Juggalo Weekend, you know, Fright Fest, Hallowicked,
right,
Attack of the Ninjas.
Yeah, Attack of the Ninjas, which I didn't make the first one of those, but anyway, I would say I hit 80 to 90% of them for sure.
That's so fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I saw you even took your boy to a couple, but you took him to a clown show or something. Because then I see little man on stage throwing Fago around.
Yeah.
Like, what is his perception of daddy? Like, mine think I'm crazy and I just say off the wall shit all the time. But like, he's got to just think something weird. But be proud of you.
Yeah. He loves. So I mean, all of my friends, you know, my closest friends now are juggalos or were juggalos. So
hell yeah.
You know, so he's been around it his entire life. He's 8, he'll be 9 in October. And he's been to a couple of shows. It's so weird, man. Like he'll be so hype about getting on stage and getting the Fago being, you know, getting into the Fago and all this other stuff. And then he'll fall asleep halfway through the act before ICP. So, you know, my wife Amanda will be, you know, holding him in her arms while fucking clowns are on. I'm like, this kid can sleep through fucking anything.
Right? Kids, man.
He was on stage just trying to think of where it was. It was at Pops at one of the it must have been one of the ballers. Anyway, he was on stage laying like sleeping while ICP was performing, and after they got off stage, Jay was walking out down the stairs at Pops, and he saw him. He's like, "Oh man, my bad," you know.
I didn't mean to have a concert, man. Sorry about that. So, anyway, that's fucking crazy. It's fresh, crazy, man.
He's but he loves it. He's exposed to a lot of things that 8-year-olds probably shouldn't be, as far as language, you know,
sure,
and all of that. So, but he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He knows what's for kids and what's for, you know, he blames juggalos for a lot of stuff.
Dad, I said fuck to my teacher because of that one song. I learned it by watching you, Dad.
Right. Exactly.
That's fucking crazy fresh, man. That behind you, man, is super dope. So obviously that museum life and my merch everywhere behind me, I still am highly dedicated to the collectible side of this whole process. I know you've gotten some dope ass shit sent to you, acquired, whatever. What's that one piece of merch that's like crazy fresh to Scottie D? If it's not what I'm staring at right now,
man. So that one it was in the Death Pop video. I'm trying to think about what video that was in. But yeah, I acquired that one a couple of years ago. I've actually wore it for Halloween a couple of years ago too.
I would have. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm not a huge collector.
Not a merchalo?
Not really. But there are some things that are really that I would never get rid of. It was not one of those things that you're going to see me posting on the museum.
Sure.
But like my wife framed the March jersey, the Juggalo March jersey.
Oh yeah.
And she's got a picture of me on the podium in front of, you know, however many Juggalos
people.
Yeah, and then and my speech that I wrote, complete with all my notes, it's in a frame and everything. It's really fucking fresh. So
that's crazy cool, man. Congrats on that too. That was also another big feat, man.
Talk about one of the most nerve-wracking things that I've ever experienced. You know, what was being in front of all those juggalos, and I stumbled over a word and I got a "you fucked up" chant, and then I was like, man, I'm right at home. So
I'm finally here.
Yeah, right. So
the chant that would like cripple most people in a normal community, but you're like, oh, I got the poop dollar, I'm ready to go.
Right at home. So
that's fucking super dope, man.
Well, hey man, we know that like we've known you a long time, and obviously we have a lot. The four of us actually have a lot more in common than just juggalo shit. So we didn't want to just talk about that for this whole show. And I actually wanted to pose a question to all of you gentlemen, and I'll start it with Scotty. Who is your favorite whack packer from the Stern Show? And I want both living and dead.
Dead has got to be Eric the actor. I mean, he's the Mount Rushmore of whack packers. That dude. As when he was still alive, and he would get on to Baba Booey and just be so ungrateful for everything they had done, it would make me mad. But then, like what, you little piece of shit, you know what I mean?
I hated him so much. I
did too. And then
every time.
But hearing him, on the Stern anthologies and stuff, and hearing it back, I'm like, man, I miss that dude. Can you imagine how fucking awesome he'd be doing on Cameo or? I mean, he would.
I would pay $500 for an
absolutely
cameo.
I don't think High Pitch would have any fucking. No one would go to him. Everything would be going.
No one would go to High Pitch. No.
To ETM, I can't go with the A. ETM in the building. You know?
Oh yeah.
And then I hate to be cliche, but Beetlejuice, man, living.
Yeah,
I
get it.
He's a home run every time.
Hell yeah, no matter what attitude.
Right, and that sucks that he's not on very often anymore. When
I wish his mom would let him on. I really want. It's been like 4 years probably since
he's probably just deteriorated mentally. Like he used to be good, but you know what I mean. Like
he was really upper echelon mentally before.
I mean, imagine half of that echelon. Shit's getting rough.
I don't know if you consider Sour Shoes Whack Pack, but I mean that dude is right up here for me too, because talk about an insane talent that cannot be tethered. So
oh my god, he goes off and I just fucking die. I've never not enjoyed him.
That when he was on just the other day doing his Mad Dog impression and then said we don't talk about Hansy anymore. I almost hit my pants. Like he's just fucking his material is almost better than his impressions, which is impossible.
The guy's on point, man. So I don't know if I count him, but honorable mention.
Yeah, he does that pretty regularly too. Like he'll when he goes into Artie, I'm like, well, how long are they going to keep him on for? And and the Hansy thing, when he mentioned that, and it was funny because he got a laugh out of Howard and Robin too. So I know it's so crazy how they just cut people off on that show and don't even mention it.
It's like Hansy never existed. Elegant Elliot Offen. I have a line in we just wrote a new track, and I wrote a line about Elegant Elliot Offen, and I had to school Troxy Cotton on it because he's been listening. He's an everyday listener for about a decade now. Okay. But
with no reference to him at all.
Right. That's the ad lib that I use in the song. I say, "Elegant ass motherfucker, that's gangster shit, right?"
Hell yeah, man. And speaking of like not listening, we'll get back to that, but like Scott the engineer fucking disappeared. Right. Brett Hadley disappeared. Like he at least mentioned it on Twitter, but like when they're gone, they're fucking gone.
That is one thing that drives me crazy because I mean it would be so interesting to talk about. I know Scott lost his wife and people it gets Stern fans talking about, Howard didn't even mention him whenever that happened. Did he take care of it? It
turns the hate out.
No, but then in fairness to Howard, on Twitter right after that, Scott the engineer actually posted, "Hey, don't you guys think that maybe I asked Howard not to talk about this?"
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, so I'm like,
to just act like this guy just disappeared like a fucking fart in the wind is weird as shit. Yeah. It's so weird.
Oh yeah,
and he's one of 30.
If you think about the Howard TV era 10 years ago, I mean, Richard Wilson and Scott DePace and Doug Goodstein and like all these people who were like
half the crew.
And now they're just dead. They're gone. Lisa G gone.
We haven't heard anything about a golf caddy in a decade and a half. That saddens me greatly. But sorry, Whack Pack.
Give me your Whack Packers.
I gotta agree with ETM for sure as far as dead is concerned. I think the only other dead that even come close for me would be Crackhead Bob. Because I mean, like, there's just so many Crackhead Bob drops that I quote regularly that just bring so much warmth. Don Doop, Dickie Die Game.
Hell yeah!
Oh, you bugging me. Just that call alone is perfect. That's reason enough. But living, I mean, every time they've been going to Bigfoot, especially during the quarantine, has been amazing. And I can't get enough Bigfoot. Just talking about the number of spiders that are in here. Good enough for me. Like, that's all I need.
Oh my god!
I'm covered in spiders.
Just covered.
Yeah,
were you guys shocked to see that Twisted poster in the back?
Yes, when Lieberman was there, that was the weirdest fucking thing ever. But like, he doesn't have a clue about Twisted,
right? I mean, I reached out to George about it one time. I was gonna go back to my text thread to see what he said, but like, surely they just sent it to him, or who knows what happened? Like,
what a weird thing! To even be like, let's send Bigfoot a flat from darkness or whatever that thing was. Like,
how do you know that it wasn't just one of like the random people that he had living in his house?
That's true.
Bigfoot has
at the time there were the squatters, so I thought that too. You know that became toilet paper, and that's not a diss to Twisted. That's just knowing what fucking Bigfoot's house looked like. That became toilet paper or a jizz rag for sure.
Yeah.
He's like when he's having sex with his like woman boyfriend thing or Danielle, the mail carrier, right?
The mailman.
Oh my god, man!
All right, JDirty, give me your whack.
What was the question? No, Alive is still cliche with Scotty. Beetlejuice is my fucking favorite. I love the guy. The stories of him and Jerry O'Connell's like mom, where he's like, "Yeah, Lester's wearing my shirt." Like, I don't know, like the story's so long and it's hilarious. Bubble Boy was great, and then we actually saw him at a gathering.
Yes.
Like, one of the years Trox and I were so fucked up, but I know we were there and witnessed it. I don't remember a lot of it.
That was like 06 or 07. And
it was drunk.
And Shuley was his handler, remember?
Yeah, I know. Oh, for sure.
I think he did a set or something.
He did, but like I wish I had more recollection, but that would be my Alive for many, many levels. And Dead would probably be the same answer because I mean, he's damn close. I mean, at this point, he probably qualifies as a little dead man. No, I don't even know, man. I was a huge Crackhead Bob fan. ETM was good. I like to rap about him in the old Stern Show recaps. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Crackhead Bob. I think I'm gonna piggyback on that one as well because that motherfucker. Anyone that shows up with full portrait tattoos all over of somebody, like, look at it or no. Is great to me. I like that kind of shit. Bobo, I just kind of wish was on the ladder list. If he was dead, he'd be my favorite dead whackpacker.
I'm looking for a Bobo free forever. The only thing that's good about Bobo is his puppet.
Right.
Fred, you got to give it to. I mean, the fact that they can make Bobo and Jeff the Drunk semi interesting is I mean that speaks leaps and bounds for them, but. Yeah, Bobo, man, like I want to like him because Howard answers his call so much, but man, he just it's such a grind, you know, until the puppet comes out, you know. So
yeah, no shit, man. They both kind of fell off. Bobo's great because he's an idiot, but Jeff the Drunk sucks.
Yes,
but
man,
Trox, what was yours?
So for me, I think like I agree with all of you that Eric is just gold every time. Like I've gone back and listened to some Sternthologies lately with Eric. And he's so ungrateful and such an asshole, and you just hate his guts, but he's so good to listen to. But that being
said, guest.
I gotta go Hank, man. Nobody mentioned Hank, and he was just like listening to. He was so belligerently wasted, and he could beat anybody in the room in music trivia.
Yeah,
and that was so funny to me.
He was too early for me.
That's the thing. Yeah. I started listening. The first time I heard Stern was my dad was a Stern fan back in the early to mid 90s. And so I would listen to it with him, you know, when I was 12 or 13. And he actually took me and my sister to see the movie, and not knowing what exactly we were about to see.
Not realizing what the movie was.
So my sister's 2 years younger than me. So I mean, she was 12,
like an 11-year-old, yeah,
she's like 12, watching a fucking porn star on a subwoofer in a theater,
deep throating kielbasa sausages and shit.
So, but anyway, but yeah, Hank was. I've heard Hank on a lot of Sternthologies, but again, it wasn't. I wasn't a daily listener back then, so
yeah, that changes a lot. But yeah, Hank's a good ass pick for sure.
And today, I mean, I agree with Bigfoot because every time he's on, I just love it. But I gotta go. Just if we're solely basing this on the Whack Pack auditions to take over the show about a month ago, I gotta go Wendy. When Wendy opened up the show by saying, "This is the Wendy show. Shut the fuck up, Robin."
Dude, that's the new go-to to tell Robin to shut the fuck up.
Wendy was unbelievably she was so coherent. You remember the Judge Wendy thing?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Her ruling was accurate.
Yes, absolutely. So I was like, man, props to her.
Fuck yeah, man.
So how long did you say you've been a daily listener for? About 15 years?
It was I haven't missed a single episode since he came to Sirius.
Nice.
Now I was so I mean that's been almost 15 years.
Yeah.
But before then, I would listen on the way to and from work, but it was a lot harder to hear every minute of every show while he was on the regular radio. So
big time.
I got the I don't know if you remember the Sirius S50 where you could record. You can record like 4 to 6 hours of music of content. So I had that when Stern the day Stern came over, and so I'd actually have to leave my truck like on auxiliary.
So it's still recording.
Record, and then I would bring the S50 into work after school. After college, and I would listen to the whole episode. So
hell yeah, man! Yeah, and then you also used to download them off of some site, right?
God, I can't remember. It was something Squirrel or something. It was
because remember you helped me find some episode of some sort a couple of times through that. And I was like, dude, I don't know what you're doing, but I like your abilities here.
Yeah.
Hook that up, and I appreciate it.
I remember that too. When we got the JDirty track on the air, I remember I hit you up and you're like, "Oh, there's this site where you can get the archives," and you sent me that archive, and it's that was 12 years ago now.
It's been a minute.
It's been an hour even in that phrase. I know we went on a Stern thing, but I did have one. I wanted to jump right back because we're supposedly off soon, but one of my biggest questions for you is back to psychopathic for a minute and your juggalo knowledge or just input, I guess, is another Stern reference, though, in a weird way. What's the biggest stumble in psychopathic history? They signed a lot of people, a lot of weird shit.
It's definitely the iPad.
Yeah, exactly. So, I have an opinion, but I'm just curious where your mind would be on that.
Okay, can you click? I'd like to hear your answer first because I kind of want to know what angle you got on it.
I don't want to give my answer first,
okay.
But I mean more of of the signed acts. Let's put it that way. Not the unfulfilled promises and albums, but groups that have come out. But we've had groups that have come out and almost fucking their wife died on the Stern show. We just stop hearing about them all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's just
right.
So that put out a product.
That they did put out a product?
They put out a product under something psychopathic owned and operated. Not the Blood Brothers, not the fake things.
Right. Man, I mean, I know that the one that was in my opinion, the one that was the most hated on for whatever reason, probably unjustifiably, was the Cold 187 thing.
Fair.
I mean, and I didn't think it was bad, but I think that maybe Juggalos thought it was kind of sacrilegious for him to rap over these classic,
That was a lot of the comments I would read on that.
Yeah.
He can't rap over Twisted when Twisted's mad that he's there. It's like, well, I mean, enjoy it for a Rida style album.
Right. I mean, so I think maybe that one as far as the overall perception. I'm trying to think of the what was that label that Breed came out on?
UMZ,
UMZ Entertainment. So that because it was Breed, and then Axe and Smash had Zug Island, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was its own weirdness, but it's part of that legacy. You know what I mean?
And Motown Rage was the other one on that.
No, they were on Hatchet House.
Yeah, and then Perpetual Hype Engine, which never put out anything,
right, which was another one of those.
Yeah, so there have been a lot of stumbles, I would say, but I don't know, man. Blase, I know a lot of people didn't really care for.
Blase was better than Cold 187.
Yeah.
I in my personal opinion, and I know a lot of people hate on her. I'm glad she's.
I don't hate on her at all, but
and that's fair. Yeah, I know a lot do though.
Yes, for sure. So I guess again, I didn't have a real problem with it, but I can't say that album got more than 1 or 2 spins for me anyway. The Cold 187 one. So
right,
it'll come on like a Spotify or a Pandora. Like a shuffle, I'll put it on, some Juggalo channel, and one of the tracks come on. Like, what is this? And they're like, oh, okay. So
yeah, it takes you a minute to what?
like if you hear it kind of mixed in with everything else, it's really not bad. It probably
13 of them.
Yeah, it probably didn't deserve the hate that it got, but Yeah.
I think that came out at an odd time when people were looking for reasons to pick a side and be pissed.
Absolutely.
Also, so it didn't get its just. Like if ABK did it, it would be fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? But no, I won't say I disagree with that one. I think,
and here's one that I think probably should have never happened. Although it's probably one of Rebel's favorite albums was the ABK remake of Lotus, because I am a huge Mars. I mean, like back then before he went all fucking super Christian, I was a huge Mars fan.
Right.
Mars with a Z, and I loved the Red Lotus Tales from the Lotus Pod album. I can't even listen to the gold version. And it's nothing against ABK because I'm a big ABK fan. But I mean,
it was completely it was foolish to remake it. I mean, it wasn't necessary.
They should have just made the next one and gone on with him. I completely agree.
Definitely done out of spite. So
yeah, for sure,
without question. Yeah. No, I was gonna say mine would probably be what Trox mentioned. I would have gone with the Motown Rage.
Yeah.
As far as did not fit, did not make sense, and I've always looked back at that like, well, at least it wasn't that one. At least we beat that record out because it was unhyped and it was ungood and you know what I mean? So that was weird. I think my clown one, not that I asked you this, but the caveat in my own brain would be Freaky Tales. That shit.
Yeah,
I almost crashed my car to that because I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm driving home from the gathering and this
song ever going to end. Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, this is going on forever.
Yeah.
Kind of like this show.
Yeah. Hey, man, that was a good time, right? So.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's just been a funny journey that we've been following along with and involved with. I consider myself involved, but not on the Scottie D level. I use that word legend on the flyer, and I meant that because, you know, you go to work and your coworkers are, I don't know exactly what you do, but they can't know, or do they know they're sitting next to this dude that's very famous in one subculture.
Well, funny enough, so I started my own business about a year ago. So I'm my own boss now.
I know.
But prior to that, the company I was working for was for 12 or 13 years, and you know most of my coworkers I wasn't friend on Facebook or whatever, but they kind of knew, like they knew about me going to the gathering, and you know, when the march happened, that a lot of people actually asked me about, you know, the whole gang member thing, like. You know, I never was scrutinized. People were like, "Scotty, you're not in a gang. Like, what are they talking about?" Anyway,
bad gang ever.
Right, but they knew my association, but I still don't think they really understood how involved that I am in it. So
I got you. Like they knew you were something, but hey, that's just his side hobby. Not realizing this is the guy that interviews the groups when the labels divide, and this is the guy who keeps all of us, including myself, up to date on what's happening, what's new, what's in this world.
Right.
That's fucking cool, man.
Right. And Scotty, speaking of gangs and association and things like that, do you worry now about FBI raids or things of that nature coming down upon you because of your owning and operating this website? And the floor is yours.
Being a gang leader.
We bow to you.
Well, luckily, I mean, I don't know. I know people from other states, Colorado, I think being one of them, right? Like, aren't juggalos pretty heavily scrutinized in like the Denver area?
Yeah. At least right at that time they were, because we all started doing dumb shit again.
Right.
Same with Seattle.
Calling us a gang member, we shall be gangs. It's like,
well, just look at DCG Con, right? I mean,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, but no, luckily, in Dallas area anyway, there was one time that I kind of questioned. This was back in like 2002, whether I was being pulled over just because I had a Wraith sticker on the back of my truck or whatever. But because
you were going 48 over, but it may have been the sticker.
Well, there was no other reason for me to get pulled over because I wasn't speeding. But I mean, that's really the only thing. But who knows? I haven't been unfairly scrutinized by cops or anything, or
Right.
I do phone calls to the house or whatever. So
my uncle's a cop, and he often tells me I should just grow up. But that's been about like the worst scrutiny I've gotten. Like, do your shit, be an adult, fucking follow the law, and you're gonna be fine.
Hey, we're this is all just a phase, right?
I'm gonna grow out of it soon.
Get out of it eventually.
Right.
My mom used to tell me that all the time. I remember she ripped one poster off my wall and she said, "This is just a phase." And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Mom? I'm almost 40. Good to see you."
And bitch, that poster cost me $84 in a waffle. What the hell is wrong with you?
Hey, but I'm just to speak on the whole split. I'm glad to see that you guys you never took a side, because I never did either. And
hell
I think,
man.
I think that's really important, because everybody's got to put food on their plate. And if that was right for Twisted, then great. But I do hate the barbs that have been thrown by both sides.
Agreed.
That there's been sneak disses and there's been public disses, and obviously that my interview with the clowns was, ooh man,
yeah, that was.
You looked a little uncomfortable a couple times.
I was uncomfortable watching that, because, as you know, I mean, we've been boys with A and B since 20 years ago. Like they've been our very, very close friends for forever, and nothing to do with music, and like we were just friends, and so seeing that made me uncomfortable, because I'm like, man, it was coming just from a very visceral place that didn't need to be aired out in public, in my opinion. I have nothing to do with any of it, so I'm just but it was always kind of like that, stuck to be like, what the fuck, why has it got to be like that? But we, as Jay and I, and Troxy Cotton he's not nearly as embedded in the scene as we are, but we both were just like, man, fuck that, we're gonna support our boys forever till death, but we're not gonna sit here and make a public.
We're also gonna open for Shaggy 2 Dope as soon as that solo tour comes through, because
and
we're going anyways.
And so we opened the Shaggy show. We were scheduled to open the Violent J solo tour in Denver. That got canceled. So and we did that, and we really had a conversation with our boys about, like, is this. Does this create any conflicts with our crew, and like, is this a bad thing for us to do? Is this a good thing for us to do, just because we are we're trying to perpetuate our own movement here in the music scene, and this is obviously a great place for us to be, and I think we all kind of came out of it feeling like we were doing the right thing. So I don't know.
The quick caveat to that is we were doing it anyways. We were just hoping they were cool with it. I'm not going to be like one of those, like, well, you shouldn't do it. No, we're selling tickets, and I can't wait. This is awesome, and I can't wait to brag to my children that this happened one time.
And that's
what I mean? So I didn't give a fuck.
That's what we always wanted the whole time we were growing up, like when we played the Gathering in 2012, and like that was our dream. Like that we only, and I remember seeing you there when we were on the stage,
because he was the only one watching our set, but we still played the Gathering.
No,
God damn it.
No, man, CJ was there. I remember. But no,
I think that was y'all booked that year, actually. So
say what?
I said I think I actually got y'all booked that year.
Yeah, no,
I don't doubt that at all, and I appreciate
helping us with it. And you I think you pushed us and hooked us up with George for that, and that was the year that George booked.
Right.
And to me, it was like that was our dream, and that was something that we were really pushing for, and so we didn't want to just lose that opportunity. And I think, I don't know, like Jay said,
I don't want to pretend I don't like some music. I'm like, yeah, that new Twisted song's the shit, man. I wish the Clowns would put out some more shit. Like I still just like being a juggalo, man, in my brain. And when I dress like I'm 14, I talk like I am too, because that's when life was fun, and it's just music, man. Like I go upstairs and raise people. Like let me just have some fun with this shit, and like throw some Fago around every now and again. And I wish it wasn't such a divided situation, but I'm a Twizzler and a 17er, and I'm proud of it. I don't give a fuck.
Well, man, I was really holding out hope for for some kind of reunion. Maybe we'll get for the 25th. Who knows?
You never know. It could happen.
I hope so.
Even
people grow and change, man. Like shit, we're all grown ups, and like that. Even that whole situation, that's it exists. within people's personal lives, and there's still a possibility that people could come together and make music again. So,
well, even recent, Paul does his live streams a few times a week, and then Keegan and Joey do their podcast. There have been some pretty blatant,
like 3 days ago.
Yeah, right.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah,
like this could be fun again.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the reference, so I'll need to go watch.
Oh, okay. Well, just, I won't get into it. I'll send you a link later, but
exactly. I'll tell you afterwards to not perpetuate any fucking negativity, but
right. But I mean, those guys were so personally, I mean, I think Joey, as little as he got to talk during that interview, he was just so personally invested with James and with Young Wicked and he I mean, whatever. I don't want to get into all this again, but I understand. It's more than music to them. So if they feel slighted, then and betrayed, then maybe we just shouldn't have all been involved. But when
I don't think any of us should have even known all that went down, like on a public level at all. Yeah, but there we are.
But when the clowns, say, "Hey, we got some things to say," and they fly you out to Detroit, and what do you want me to do?
Bro, I don't think I ever, Trox or any of us ever looked at you slightly. It made total sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you go? Are they gonna call delusional to go do it? Like, of course of course they called you, and of course you said yes because that just makes sense. So I got every move of it, man. It was normal.
Yeah, and to be fair, man, when I was out there before because we got it up, I think within 3 days, and it was a 2-hour interview. So within 2 or 3 days, dude, I was in a fucking like a Red Roof Inn, because Psychopathic only does puts you up in the greatest
of the best.
And they had no internet, so I was tethered to my freaking cell phone, uploading like an 8 gig video to our video editor so he can get it out just as soon as possible.
Fuck.
So I think we had it out within 2 or 3 days. It premiered on the Juggalo show that week, which was whatever day that aired.
Sure, I don't remember.
Yeah. So, but anyway, to be fair, I did contact George after that interview. I was like, "Look, man, there's some things I can't show you the interview because I mean, obviously that's that would be disrespectful, I think."
Right. But you're about to show everybody. It's cool.
Yes. Right. So, but I said, "Look, man, there's some things that are said. I don't know if you want to make any kind of statement." And afterwards, Twisted made their weird. I don't know. I don't know what your opinion on
weird response thing.
Yeah. So
I thought that could have been 20 minutes and summed up a lot, but whatever.
But anyway, so anyway, I did give them the opportunity, and they were like, "Well, we'll take the pass on that one," and then they put that out. So
yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah. Either way.
You know what? That's what it's dope because you're neutral. Without name dropping, there's a few other web guys doing these type shows that are only perpetuating the hate instead of trying to bring any cohesiveness back, and that sucks. So without giving them any props at all in either direction, because I kind of feel like they could all knock that shit off. But y'all stay neutral. It's crazy dope. The underground, the Psychopathic, us, our style people. I say our style, like the little guys, the bigger little guys, the clowns, the twisteds. You cover it all. And I think that's crazy fresh, man. It makes it fun to come there and it's not Fox News like I may have called you guys in a comment years ago. It's not that anymore. God damn it. But it's just dope that you're still doing it, man, and you're still about fun and family type shit. You know what I mean? I like it. I still see you doing it, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It like I said, it's always been a more of a hobby, and never been about making any kind of money because trust me, I never have. Nothing serious. So it's basically self-sufficient, not including my time. Obviously, if I was billing for that, then I would definitely be a losing battle.
You're in the black.
Yeah.
That room at the Red Roof Inn. So I mean, like you're getting my completely. So
you got something out of it,
right?
The one time you were going to sell out, Pepsi lovers, man. It
man.
It almost went off.
Wasn't that, man? That was talk about. I mean, this is before the Facebook days, but talk about hate on our comments. Like,
Oh, of course, I loved it.
It was the best.
Yeah, that was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we bought the domain pepsilovers.net. It must have been before 2010. I don't even remember.
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, and we had a whole layout put together for Pepsi saying, "Hey, Pepsi sponsored us, and this is the route we're going." And
they bought us. Yeah, we're mainstream now.
Right.
Shit was great.
Unlimited hate. So
I thought it was hilarious, man.
Yeah,
it was genius. I didn't even need to do no research. That shit's all right here because I thought that was so dope to tie to Stern. Remember when they were going to change their whole programming to America's Got Talent?
Yes,
they did that. I remember when they did that, it immediately made me think about when y'all did that. I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome." Which is partially why I didn't fall for Stern, because of you guys. I knew this was a joke.
Yeah, I can't believe anybody bought that in America's Got Talent thing because I mean I knew it right away. But
big time, yeah. But
people don't know what day it is, I guess.
Yeah, people are retarded, and that's why we have a radio show, because we like to talk like one of them because they're our own.
Right.
That's our crew.
Fuck yeah, Scotty, dude! I can't tell you enough. This was super dope. I'm really glad you came on.
Yeah, man,
thank you for being a part of the inaugural show. We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I asked you for 20 minutes and we talked to you for like an hour, and I highly, highly appreciate it. I know you got family and kids upstairs or downstairs, wherever the fuck you keep the death pop, but
Yeah,
it's been dope.
Any parting words, anything you want to leave us with? And
no, man, I appreciate it. This was such a fun show. I hope a bunch of people tune in for
me too.
Subsequent ones, and you guys. I mean, I was laughing the first 20 minutes when I was just watching you guys. It's a good time.
Thank you, man. We're back, baby.
Yeah, Trox. I see that Nolan Ryan in the background. So
yeah, boy, yeah.
Yeah,
right there. That's That's crazy fresh. I love that thing.
I can't believe we had you on, and I didn't even consider the fact we just fucking finished 2 series already in this season versus the Rangers. And I only bring it up because we won today. We lost the last 2, but we fucking won today. So fuck the Rangers, man.
Well, you know what? I'm not a baseball fan, so
I didn't think so, but yeah.
But Nolan Ryan, I mean, that was back when I was 10 or 12 or whatever, whenever that happened. So
those 2 things, just the Nolan Ryan and the Rockies tickets from the very first home opener. Those are the only 2 things that aren't music related on my wall.
Nice.
Everything else is vinyl records and then copies of Jay and I's original first records that we put out.
Yeah, sorry for the boring background. I'm usually on Zoom meetings with clients, so I kind of moved the death pop over. Usually it's tucked away in the corner, So.
Yeah, hey, you know what? There's nothing boring at all about it, man. It is all in the fucking good.
That's awesome.
But yeah, dude. So thank you again for coming on, dog. This was dope.
Yeah, hey, tell your friends.
I will do.
Hit Delusional up for us.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, thank you very much,
Scotty.
Bro.
Good to see you. Take care, man. Thanks for being a part of it.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Peace out. All right, boys. So first interview in the books, Scottie D, Fago Lovers. I think that was quite successful.
I was gonna say, I want to just say, like, I'm glad that we had him on. That guy, I got some questions answered. We could have had him on for 3 hours and just bullshitted through. I still want the Psychopatrick story, to be honest. Like,
oh no, for real. I'm gonna text him and be like, so what is the Psychopatrick story?
Yeah, dude. Like, I'm glad we touched on some of the basicness, some of the intricateness, and even some of that Stern shit, because we have a lot to do. Our worlds are very interconnected in that regard. And I'm just glad that worked out.
Yeah, for real. I think that was very good. And, he really, like I said, we have a lot more in common with him than just and we didn't even touch on Joe Rogan, which is something that I had in my notes to bring up to him about.
I talked about one of these fucking questions.
I know. I have a whole bunch in my notepad. That's why I kept checking my phone. I had my notepad over here, so I was trying to view the preparedness I had, and I left off probably half the questions, but didn't slow us down from having an hour worth of dialogue.
Shit, man.
Troxy Cotton even asked a question.
So, I thought his screen was frozen for a little while.
Listen.
It's a world you don't know a lot of what we were discussing, and I get that.
familiar. I was letting you guys drive, but I jumped in the driver's seat when I needed to. You know what I mean?
Hey, Troxy, take the wheel. No, that was just dope, man. Much love to them to Scotty for doing that. I was thinking I refer to him as Fago lovers still. It's just sort of it's a respect thing, really.
So
my grandma wouldn't have it any other way.
You're such a nice grandma's boy. Remember that movie?
Oh man, my relationship was way better than that movie.
That's true. Your grandma was a shit. I still have multiple voicemails of your grandma calling me to talk to me about her insurance. That was great.
Trox did not write me a thank you letter yet. The dog, please write my grandma. She's pissed.
Love that shit.
Hell
hey,
yeah.
So I want to throw to another quick video real quick if you boys are up for it. I know that we said we were going to cut it off at an hour, but this is just too good. So
let's rock out a video. We'll say goodbye and we'll reconvene, baby.
Yo, they not playing with him.
No. Like
that video is specifically for JDirty, who has a lifelong fear of birds, and that poor man was walking down the boardwalk. What was that? New Jersey, probably. Walking down the boardwalk with a slice of pizza, getting hounded by birds.
That's when you drop your pizza. If you're really afraid, you drop your shit. They eat the weakest one, man. You don't have to be the fastest, just not the slowest. You throw that pizza behind you and you keep running, man. Fuck that.
You were just playing a video to upset our co-host, and that was all you were going to do.
Yeah,
man. My biggest fear in the world is a bird getting in my open window when I'm driving. Like I swear to God, like I've had nightmares of I flip it and become a quadriplegic instant. Like I'm not even playing, y'all. Like if that ever happens, I'm fucked. Like, have you ever thought about that? Probably not, because you're normal. But
if a bird flies in my window,
yeah, man, that and silence. But that takes a number one seat for sure. Like that shit's fucking terrifying to me, dude. Oh man. See, I would have dropped my pizza and been gone, but I don't hang out at boardwalks because of that scenario.
I think you're making the right choice all around.
What'd you say?
I think you're making the right choice all around.
Yeah, I don't fuck with birds, man. It's not or Birdman, really. The rapper or the basketball player.
I think one of your lyrics is, am I afraid of birds? The answer is yes. I start screaming like a bitch. I got a stain up on her prom dress.
Hell yeah. And that's the fucking truth, man. Like that was early too. Man, I can't do it. It's not my style. We'll delve into that more as we go, but fuck some birds, man.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I remember once at the zoo, some peacocks came up to my kids. I just pushed the stroller like I would have that piece of pizza. I let them fend for themselves, and that is not to sound tough. That is to sound like a pussy, because I left my kids to die so I could get away. And people say die, it's 3 birds. Well, that's death to me. That's the way I equate.
Could be. We never know.
Oh man, fuck all that shit. But fellas, this was dope.
Yeah, good episode 1, boys.
I'm excited.
Send a quick shout out to everybody in the comments. Been holding us down for the last hour and a half. You guys are awesome.
Oh yeah, I kind of quit looking over there. I'm sorry.
No, I've been checking it, man. It's so much love coming out and from all over the country. It looks like people from Atlanta to Nashville to Omaha to Denver to
my basement.
Yeah, to Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
What? No, this is dope, man. We'll be here every Sunday night rocking it. I'm excited, dude. This is fun. This will be available forever now, I understand.
Yeah.
Right? Like they can just get this on YouTube and some podcast styles and hell yeah.
We're on YouTube, we're on Twitch. You just go to scrubhop.com and it's the very top thing that you see right when you go to scrubhop.com. So, sound off in the comments, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, Friendster.
Dexter or whatever you call it.
Bulletin board messaging system.
Deezer.
I'm on a bulletin board messaging system. If you guys are unaware, Chattanooga representing. Looks like
I
know somebody in Chattanooga. You know what I'm saying? But no, we're on everything. Holler at your boys. I'm on. Our new album is available on 8-track. So,
man, I want to do that next, but that's off the air. Yeah, thank you guys. We'll be back next Sunday, 6:00 Mountain Standard Time, whatever that makes it in your hometown or your cell phone reception area is when we will be back. And I'm excited.
Much love, Scrub Hop Talk.
Scrubhop.com. Much love.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you guys.
Peace out.
Peace.